Alright, I think we're live. I think everything's good. Looks like we got it going here. Hello, internet. Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. How are you? How's your weekend been? I hope you're having a good one. I got to play some D&D today, so that's always fun. I'm just letting everybody know that I am streaming. I did get a little bit of work done on these Necromunda models, which I'm hoping to finish up tonight. I should be able to. Hello, Josh. Hello, Brady. I Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, I played some Dungeons & Dragons earlier today. Had a good time. Had a good time. Hi, Brady. Hi, Josh. What are you guys working on? Just getting the camera adjusted here. Let's see if I can make that look nicer. We'll see. Probably not. That might just be good enough. So, yeah, last time I had not finished painting the stripes or put a wash on these boys. I have done so now, so about the only thing left to do is add the chrome in on them and then figure out what I'm going to do for the bases. So, gotta figure that out. I did get my dark brown and brown Tamiya panel liners, so maybe I'll try these out on the bases just as like a first experiment. I don't know, but I'm hoping that they'll be good for doing candy colors. But we're gonna start off by just doing the chrome. You're just watching TV? That's fine, Josh. Anything good on? Hello, Goober. Probably gonna watch some TV after this. I did see a movie on Friday that thoroughly terrified me, which was fantastic because I'd been waiting for a scary movie to actually scare me. I saw quite a few scary movies last year, and none of them actually managed to make me feel scared, which I feel like it's a pretty essential component of a horror film. And while a lot of the films I saw were interesting or fun to look at, or in the case of Phil Tippett's Mad God, just gross and damp to watch, none of them were actually scary. So, seeing the first one that I saw, I think this is the first horror movie that I've seen this year, and having it actually be scary was quite a nice change of pace. Quite a nice change of pace. And then, yeah, in addition to playing in a Dungeons & Dragons game, I have found some players, and I have been missing actually DMing, running the games of Dungeons & Dragons for quite some time. And we haven't picked a start date yet, but I found people who said, yes, we would love to be players in your Dungeons & Dragons campaign. And they've started coming up with character ideas. So hopefully everything pans out, and I'll actually get to DM a Dungeons & Dragons campaign this year. I'm really, really hopeful, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Not the Muppets Take Manhattan. Hardy har har. Must a movie be scary? Is it not enough to be damp? It is not enough to be damp. Not for me, anyway. I really did not enjoy Mad God at all, and I had very much expected that I would enjoy that film. I hated it. Which is fair. I'm sure a lot of people who would go and see Skinamarink, the horror film that I just saw that I found absolutely terrifying. I'm sure there are so many people who would see that and absolutely hate it, because it's like an experimental indie horror film that doesn't make a lot of sense, so yeah. If people are like, what the fuck, that isn't scary at all, what are you talking about, Fives? I don't blame those people. It's definitely a choice, I would say. Trying to get that little bit of metallic paint off the cloth that I got it on, but I think I'm just making it worse. Just put a touch of red paint, cover it up. King of the Hill? Okay, you can say that's the best anime of all time. I've never watched King of the Hill. It seems to fall into that adult, like, animated show genre, which is the worst for me. I never like those. Just add some very basic highlights to blend that in. Yeah, you can't tell that I made a mistake there. Ha ha ha. If I add just a highlight or two over here, then it almost looks natural. And there we go. That's another boy finished up. Since I want their weapons to be really shiny and chrome, so I can make shiny and chrome jokes, I don't even think I'm going to put a wash over them. I think they're just going to be really, really shiny. Which will look unfinished to some people, and that's fine. These are my guys for me. Aw, Lobster, is he not leaving you alone? Achilles, hey! You gotta leave Lobster alone, buddy. He doesn't want to play anymore. My cats are having a fight. Oh, is the second episode of The Last of Us out? I didn't know when the second episode dropped. I'll have to go and check that. Well, actually, I'll save that. I'll save that for tomorrow, so I have something to look forward to after getting through the workday. Always remember that Mondays suck, so you need a little treat to get through them. You deserve a little treat to get through them. I'm gonna bake some brownies after this stream. Not weed brownies, just regular brownies. So that I have something to look forward to in the evenings. Boys, are you still fighting? My cats are fighting. This is brutal. I'm watching a murder over here. They just jumping on each other. Oh, it drops in about 50 minutes. Okay. Well, I guess I have a deadline for when Josh is gonna leave the server. Go watch Last of Us. Which is fair. I don't think I can say that this stream is gonna be more entertaining than The Last of Us. I hope it's a good episode. I know both fans of the video game and those who are just watching the show both seem to like it very much, and I watched it. I thought it was okay. I thought it had a lot of potential. I wouldn't say that I loved it like some people did. Like, I was very interested to see where it would go. I don't know that I'm, like, fully immersed, fully invested just yet. But I liked it more than enough to watch for a second episode, so I'm excited to see where it goes. Yeah, they meowing a bit in the background. Zinch Cosmic Brownies, that would be really cool. By the way, hello Nora's Hobbyverse, welcome. Are you working on anything cool right now? Yeah, I think it's neat that the people who played the video game actually like this adaptation. I feel like Last of Us and games that are similar to it are the kind that lend themselves well to a television adaptation where there's like a clear story to adapt. And if you just adapt that story, you're probably going to do pretty decently. Like, if the story is already written and well loved and liked and critically praised, just make that story. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Trying to paint up some of your pile of shame, that's fair. These guys had definitely been sitting around in my pile of shame for a little bit, so I'm happy to be getting them painted. Oh, you have to finish all of it before you buy a 3D printer. Ooh, that's an interesting incentive. I like that. I certainly buy a lot of models. To be fair, I paint a lot of models, but I do buy a lot of models. So think, because I'm gonna redo my hobby space. I bought paint for the room, because I'm gonna have a whole hobby room. So I picked out a paint color, and I'm gonna be painting that room soon, and then kind of getting furniture for it, and redecorating it to be a nice, big painting space. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Kind of been a spare room that I haven't been using for anything. I'm gonna make a big old painting studio in there, and while in that process, I'm probably gonna go through my pile of stuff and see what I can either resell or give away, or what I can do to get rid of some of the stuff that I don't need and won't paint. And then also, hopefully, paint up some of the stuff that I am interested in and do want to paint. I do paint a lot of models, yeah. No, it's not gonna look like a Dunkaroo. But I do want it to look very, very much in line with the channel, I guess. I just like sugar and candy stuff, so I'm hoping to make a few decoration choices that are more in line with gingerbread house than sophisticated adult home. But I do want to put up shelves in there where I can put like little collectibles and stuff. I recently purchased myself a Neopets plushie that I wanted so bad as a kid. I have it now as an adult, and it makes me very happy. So I'll put that in there. I'll put some of my projects like in display cases in there. I want to I have a friend who does woodworking, and I want to see about commissioning them to make a big display case for me, but have it shaped like a bakery display case. I have no idea how difficult that would be to make. Probably significantly, because I don't know how you're going to get the glass top to fit like that. So maybe I'm just better off looking for an old one or something like that, but I think that would be a really cool way for me to display some of my figures. In an ideal world, this all doesn't have to happen right away. My painting room / hobby shrine. I won't go building any shrines. I think it's probably verging on shrine enough that I have a shelf in my house where all of my Mothman collectibles live. Jokingly referred to as the Mothman Shrine. Clown Shrine, Moth Altar. No, nothing like that. I'm circling back to Dungeons and Dragons, because I can't explain my hobby room very well. I don't know how to describe all of the projects that I want to do to get it all fixed up, but I'll get there eventually and talk to you guys more about it as it develops. But, circling back to the Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I plan on DMing, there's a Kickstarter that I backed called Steinhardt's Guide to the Eldritch Hunt, and it is someone very much made Bloodborne, but for Dungeons and Dragons, and that's what I kind of pitched to my players is what I wanted to run, and they were like, sure, run whatever you want. Neither of them know what, the story of Bloodborne is. They've never played it. So, I get to, basically, through the medium of tabletop RPGs, take two people through one of my favorite game settings stories of all time. And obviously, they've tweaked it so that it's not just, things have different names, and there's different designs and different trick weapons and stuff like that. But it's very, very Bloodborne, so it's gonna be fun. I'm very excited. I just want somebody else to step into this world and see all the weird and interesting stuff it has to offer. Now I get to do that, and I have an excuse to paint up all of the miniatures from the Bloodborne board game so that I can have those ready to go. Will it be affected by the OGL BS? It may be, but they've been releasing PDFs of their alpha versions. I think they're on alpha version 7. The Kickstarter is already over, and it already got funded. So, I don't know how retroactive that OGL is, so maybe that'll affect me ever getting the print copy. But I have enough of the alpha where it's playable. It's in a very good state. There are some sections where item descriptions are missing, but most of the sections have art. There are 3 entire campaigns that you can run. All of the classes are mapped out for the players in different subclasses and a couple different race options. So it's in an extremely playable state. Nothing to worry about there. Hello, Otto. How's it going? Will I be using the Bloodborne board game miniatures? Absolutely I will. I see no reason why I shouldn't. I see no reason why I shouldn't. Anything published after the final date won't be able to be shipped, unfortunately, so it's playable. Just may have to finagle money back. I don't really know how that's gonna work, and sure, that might be the case. Obviously, we kind of are just waiting to see what happens with the OGL, since they don't have a final version, it's a little, and I backed this Kickstarter a while ago. This was probably sometime last year, or maybe the year before, I don't know. So again, I really don't know what's gonna happen, but it's not like I can retroactively have guessed that the OGL stuff was gonna happen. So I don't regret pledging for any of this. I hope that I can get the physical copies. They say they're close to finishing the alpha, so hopefully they're able to do that and, you know, move along before Wizards has anything to say or do about it. Or maybe they'll just slap something that isn't 5e on the cover and get away with it that way. Who knows? However this OGL thing shakes out, it's definitely gonna be a process. I suppose that's part of the issue with Kickstarters taking so long to be fulfilled at times. Whole policies can change before you get your product. They didn't even put, like, the core rules in there. It's not like, all of the stuff in the book is their own 5e compatible content, essentially. So, like, it doesn't mention, any of that kind of initial player's handbook stuff. It's just like, here's some subclass options. Here's some spells. Here's some really cool items. Stuff like that. You have a nice night, Ano. Thanks for swinging by. Sorry if the OGL stuff is a bit too complex for this late at night for you. Usually I'm not talking about Dungeons and Dragons and discourses, you know? But it's a very relevant situation, for me anyway. Yeah, I really don't know what's gonna happen, but I'll have my game anyway, and whether I get a physical copy of the book or not, we'll stay tuned in. We'll see what happens. We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. It is unfortunate how many people will have their products and hobby affected by this. Capitalism is always the BBEG. Oh, nice. You killed some kobolds today? Sounds like fun. Oh, and a good evening to anyone who might be lurking on this chat. I'm trying to remember to say hello to the lurkers more and more. You guys do make a difference. Thank you for tuning in. I promise you guys I'm not making it up when I say I'm working on a new video. I just been having some hell of a time getting stuff done. I get busy in my real life, and that's pretty cool, but I also, you know, you get burnout from the day job a little bit, so thanks for bearing with me while I still work on things. I know it's annoying to have to wait for content, but I'm trying. I'm very excited about the stuff that I'm making. I feel like that's at least worth something. Y'all are very patient with me, and it's very appreciated. He's really, like, just leaving the chrome super shiny like that, it gives these models, in my opinion, like an old metal appearance. Like, for whatever reason, I just didn't paint the super shiny metal on a metal model. And I kind of like that for Necromunda. I don't know if it's correct for the setting or anything like that, but I definitely like it. This isn't content? I mean, I think it's content, probably. I don't know. Some people don't... Like, I don't think streams are the same as a video, but I don't fucking know. It's hard to say. I suppose it is content of one kind. You did hear a Hector. Yes, he's meowing. I don't know why today. Probably wants me to, Alright, so full disclosure, about this film that I watched that scared me. I have been, not wanting to, childish as it is, not wanting to sleep in my room with the lights off, so I've been sleeping, on the couch with the lights on, with Christmas lights on anyway, because I have been a little baby, been a little bit spooked. Which is slightly childish, but it's fine. It's fine. So I think Hector wants me to just lie down on the couch and snuggle with him, because he's been really enjoying that dynamic. To clarify, I'm delighted to be properly spooked by a film, which hasn't happened since, like, I was young. And that's cool. I don't mind. I live in a house where I can facilitate whatever kind of sleeping arrangement I desire, which is quite nice. Both my night lights instead of just one. Ooh. You painted a Khorne warrior bone white and purple. That sounds cool. Nora, I can't remember if you're on my hobby Discord or not. You don't have to be like a patron or anything to be on there. You can just hang out and vibe and chat and show stuff. But if you are on there, please do post a photo of that Khorne warrior. I'd love to see it. We have a whole like things we talk about on stream channel. And that'd be a great place for you to post that so I can take a look. If you're not on Discord, let me know, and I can post a link to it. Sorry if I don't remember. There's 77 people in there, which is great. It's such a big community, which I did not expect. But occasionally I'm not always able to facilitate remembering every person and their YouTube username, which is sometimes different from their Discord username. I do my best. I swear. I'm not mad that there are so many of you. I feel bad myself not remembering every single person. I'm trying. Okay. I thought that might have been you, Nora, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to assume. I think maybe, is your icon different there? Is that what's tripping me up? I don't know. If it's the same icon, I got no excuse. Alright, all of them have the chrome on there. Now I have to decide what to do for the bases. I don't want to do something, like, super distracting. I don't even know if I really want to make them, like, McDonald's-themed bases, or if I just want to make them, like, legitimate Necromunda bases that you would see in an actual Necromunda, like, channel. I've looked up industrial basing and stuff like that. Like, I looked at tutorials. I tried to find a scheme that I liked, and I hadn't been able to find anything. Now, color theory tells us that if the main colors of these are yellow and red, if we wanted to contrast that with the bases, we'd go with either a green or a purple. So we could do something like copper with a lot of verdigris for that kind of tone, but I don't know that copper suits the Necromunda that I envision in my head. Necromunda to me is a lot of like brown and rust. So I guess even making chrome weapons is kind of a departure from that. Have to make some decisions. Purple. Yeah, skinned grimace bases. That's horrifying. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? The bases should just gunk, just gunk and garbage? Gross. No. No. Make the bases crumbled hamburger meat. Oh my god. Y'all have some very unhinged ideas. Very unhinged ideas. Okay, yeah, Nora, your icon is different. That's why it was tripping me up. Because the Nora in here has a red icon, and the Nora in there has a purple and orange one, which always makes me think of Neopets because of the split purple and orange Neopet. That's why. My brain didn't do color association with you. I do like the Corn Warrior that you painted, though. That looks dope as hell. Crumpled McDonald's bags on the bases. That would be kind of fun. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll do, like, white bases. Like, I can do this off-white, and then just kind of do, like, I can paint some of the sections in red and yellow, maybe, and then put, like, a wash over that. I don't know. White feels like a place to start, anyway. We're gonna... Because I've been watching Annie Minnie's... Annie Green Gable, she goes by a couple different things, or I think she recently just rebranded as Annie Minis. But she's been painting some Chaos Knights, and she did them all in like this eggshell kind of color, and then put a wash on them, which dirtied them up pretty good. So I think I might try that, just to see how it goes. And then we'll, like, add some weathering to this, or something. The real question is, do I use this one as a test before committing to doing it on all of the bases? Someone should say, yes, Fives, that would be a good, smart idea that a smart person would do in case you end up hating how this looks. But I want to finish these models tonight. So I don't know that I'm gonna do that. Crumpled McDonald's bags? Honestly, it's a great idea. I like that idea. I don't know if I want to put the time in to get that idea done. Because if you'll be fair to me, if you'll allow me, if you'll indulge me for but a moment, I did paint stripes on all of these guys. I had to do a lot of freehand stripes, and that was kind of a pain in the ass. It looks great, don't get me wrong. I think it looks fantastic. I just don't necessarily know that I want to spend much more time on these particular minis. I think I might be getting ready to call it a day with them. Perhaps white isn't a very Necromunda color either, but you know. McDonald's floors. Oh, God, I'll Google the floor of a McDonald's. That's not a bad idea. Hang on. McDonald's floor. Someone's probably taking a picture of it. All of these show like a wood grain pattern. I'm sure it's changed throughout the various eras. Also, why the fuck was Yahoo Images the first one to come up? Excuse me, Google. Why are you not my default search engine? Yeah, it's all showing like this kind of wood pattern. Kind of like a... I don't know what to describe it as, but it's definitely accurate. But we can, like, we don't have to go with accuracy here. No, when I got this laptop back, like, because my old one was being fucky. For whatever reason, it always used to set the default browser as Yahoo, despite me changing it and telling it to set it to Google. So, when I powered it up again, it's still set at Yahoo, and I haven't told it to change back yet. It's whatever. One picture of a McDonald's floor is about as good as another. I definitely think going with something slightly industrial to contrast with what I've got going on in these extremely colorful models will probably look fine. Look good. I hope. I don't know that basing makes or breaks a model as much as I fear it does sometimes. There's nothing wrong with just giving these a simple basing scheme. Like, I've got this Martian iron crust that I can probably just kind of splodge on there. That's either going to look like dirt or meat or blood or something. That's a lot of ores, to be fair, but I think it could work. I could probably print out some bags on paper and fold them. I could. I imagine crumpled up green stuff would work as well. But all that's just another layer of stuff, and I could add it in later. That's fair. But I'm looking forward to declaring these are done, like I said. Plus, I have more ash waste nomads on the way. I'll be getting a couple of the bug ones, so maybe I'll add some little McDonald's bags to them or something. But these guys have sat around on my hobby desk for long enough, so they're getting finished. Because I haven't accomplished a big project this year, and I want to. I want that feeling of, ah yes, this is now complete. So that's what we're chasing tonight. And we're gonna get it. Because we're only a little more than a half hour in, and we're already, you know, we've finished all the chrome, so we're starting on the bases. We can definitely finish the bases tonight, especially if all I'm doing is putting this white part on, maybe picking out a couple of panels to paint in a different color. Like, I'll just pick a different off-white or gray or something like that for a little bit of variety. Slapping on a pin wash or a real wash, I haven't decided yet. And then getting the texture stuff on there. Sounds like a lot of steps, but they're quick and easy steps that I don't have to paint with a lot of, like, attention paid to them. Like, I've already gotten through almost 4 bases, so it's pretty simple. Yeah. It's easy stuff. And if it ends up looking good in the end, then more power to me. I suppose I do have to decide on what color I'm going to be painting the base rim. Now, a lot of you will just say black, which I understand, but suppose I could also consider putting some decals on these guys. I probably won't, though. I have a couple, like, nice little, like, numbers and orc symbols and things that I could tack onto their banners. Someone suggested me painting the little McDonald's arches on them, which isn't a terrible idea, but I didn't know that I actually wanted them to say McDonald's so much as just be McDonald's themed. I want people to be able to get the theme without me having to put the word on there, you know? I always want someone to be able to look at my work and guess which dessert or which food it's supposed to be based off, which doesn't always happen. But it's very satisfying when it does. Blood, dirt, meat, perfect for McDonald's. Yep, that's kind of what I figured. We've done 40 minis in 3 days. Damn! You really want that 3D printer. I can't say that I've been painting minis quite that fast. I will say though, so far this year, everything that I have been completing is something that I've been deeply satisfied with. And I can't really say that about last year. To be fair, this year I've completed 1 miniature, and it was that weird little guy I intended to use for like Stargrave or something. He was that purple and blue and pink kind of guy. Oh, damn it! Forgot to do the chrome on you! You were hiding! Hang on, emergency. Hidden Necromunda ganger. You, sir. How could I forget you? So pleased to start moving on to the next step, I failed to account for hidden models. Luckily I caught you though. Hee hee hee. You shall not escape my eagle eyes. Become chrome like all your brethren. This is like the most dramatic one, too, with the big claw hand. Would have been a shame to forget this one. Here I am, avoiding hobby crises, one by one. It's like a weird hair or something stuck on that blade. I'm gonna just try that again. There we go. That looks chunky, but good. Yeah, there we go. Right. You did not escape me, although you tried. Go sit over there and get dry. I won't forget to write their names on the rim. I haven't named them all yet, though, so that's gonna be a little hard. I should probably do like a lighter colored base rim so that I can write their names on there. Maybe I'll go with yellow. That would make sense. Or black rims with white text like everybody else. Hey, do you know how hard it is to paint white as a text? It's doesn't work that great. I would much rather do a light base color with dark text. because white can take multiple coats to cover, so if I can at all avoid having that be the text color, then I will. Plus, I don't love the fact that I am expected to paint all of my base rims black. I like doing them in fun colors. Is it sacrilege to some? Sure. Do I care? No. You can't tell me that these ash waste nomads care if they're committing heresies or not. Ash waste clowns secretly very stealthy despite the colors. Yeah? He'll sneak up on you. He'll get you. You almost always do the base rims in the main color of the model. That's very cool. Sensible choice. Clowns are very stealthy. You haven't noticed the one standing right behind you. And then I die. Oh no. And then the theme from Killer Clowns from Outer Space just starts going in the background. Yeah, I think I might paint the grates in. I think I might do those in just plain like black or dark gray on the base. Because they should be pretty easy to pick out. Then I'll throw the wash on. Because hopefully that won't take up too much time. And should just add some visual interest. That's what we're going for. Make these boys interesting. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, these are 9 and 10. Ash gray for rims because ash waste. That would make sense. Won't fault you for that logic. Don't know if that's the color I'll go with. We'll see. Give you more corn alternate color schemes. You only have 4 of them, and you want all of them to be fully different color scheme-wise. I have a video, Nora, on 8 different corn color schemes. You can do one of each of those. Most of them are Neopets paintbrush colors. But they'll work. And of course, you can always do a McDonald's one as well. No one's stopping you. No one's holding you back from making McDonald's corn. understand you haven't seen all of my videos. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. You do not have to watch every video that I make. That is completely reasonable. That does not make you a fake fan at all, Nora. Just happens to apply to this situation in a humorous way. To be fair, I painted Khorne demons and not Chaos Space Marines, so I'm not sure how well those color schemes would apply to those, but you know. Hell yeah. There we go. Those look surprisingly decent. I mean, I always knew that they were gonna look good. I'm very confident in my own work. Yes, 100%. McDonald's corn sounds bland and wilted. Well, you can't have everything. Cannot have everything. You could paint one of them to look like a clown. That could be fun. What else could you do? Mint chocolate chip is a go-to for me. I'm always painting mint chocolate chip things. I'd say that's like that's a safe zone for me. When in doubt, Gauss Blaster Green is my friend. I'm just gonna really roughly paint in some of these areas with the gray. Wherever I think looks good, basically, is gonna get gray. Or would look good with gray, I guess. Not wherever I think looks good as in, ah, yes, this particular detail is an attractive detail. I shall now paint it gray. You don't have any specific paints, you just mix mine from a base set of Army Painter. Oh, Gauss Blaster Green is like a, it's a favorite paint of mine. It's basically the perfect mint chocolate chip green color. It comes pre-mixed from Games Workshop, so it's very easy for me to grab and use for all of my mint chocolate chip needs. Admittedly, there are quite a few of those at times. Yeah, here it is, actually. I almost always have one to hand. Best paint color. That's fair. If you get bored of painting details, you're just like, they're black now? It's fair. Winnie is in the box. Josh, that's so cute. I love whenever you post photos of Winnie. She's such a cute cat. I love when anyone posts photos of any cat in the chat, honestly. It always brightens my day. I think that's just me liking cats, though. I don't think it's anything deeper than that. Hoping kind of shittily painting these in gray doesn't ruin the whole effect, but I'm gonna just trust that it's gonna work out. Everything looks better with a wash and a bunch of weathering over the top of it anyway, so there's really nothing to worry about in this moment, right here and now. I'm just making up problems that aren't there, because I'm great at doing that. Every single model has a grate on it, sometimes multiple grates. I didn't realize that. Last of Us time? Alright, enjoy. Hope it's a good episode. Yeah, Magic Sauce does make everything look better. I'm trying to not rely on washes as much for some projects this year. Like, my Titans, I'm trying to either use panel liners specifically, so that I actually have to, like, build up the shades myself, or, use very targeted washes. Because I think having a time period where I'm trying to learn how to apply shades to a model is going to be helpful for kind of growing my painting skills a little bit. But yeah, sometimes you just slap on a wash and it suddenly looks amazing, and that's a great feeling. With these ones, like with the Nomads, I definitely knew I was going to be using either Seraphim Sepia or Reikland Flesh Shade to tint everything, because I wanted that grungy, dirty look, and I knew that a lot of pooling of washes was going to give me that for basically free. And it did. You got some Agrax mixed with dark tone, thin with glaze medium, and a drop of dish soap. Ooh, secret recipe. Nice. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to use on these bases. I might just go with Nuln Oil, because I feel like, as much as I want to try out my panel liner, I don't actually want to take the time to individually panel line them when I could just kind of dunk them in wash, so to speak, and move on to the next step. Usually speed isn't really a factor in my painting much at all, but I just am ready to move on to my next project, which happens sometimes. It's not that I haven't had a good time painting these models, or that I don't like them, or anything like that. I just want to paint something else. I will not let myself do that with the Knights. Those I am forcing myself to take time on and to make sure that they're finished to the highest ability that I possibly can. And I think probably it would have been smart if I had taken a break before jumping into the strawberry one, because I'm getting a little, just a tiny bit burnt out on it. I have large areas that I basically have to shade to look like chocolate, and there's a lot of them on the surface of that model, so going through and doing that is not the most interesting part of the painting process, and has kind of been a little bit of a slog, but that's okay. I'm getting through it, and that's important. But yeah, I won't allow myself to rush through or just be like, it's good enough on the Titans. They have to be very fancy, and I like how they're turning out. So That one's just going to take a little bit longer, and that's okay. Honestly, I do kind of want to sponge just a tiny bit of copper paint on some of these bases, too. It's another step, though. It'd take more time. We'll see if I have a bit of sponge in one of these drawers near to hand, and if I do, maybe we'll see if we have a copper paint. So I feel like that would... It's lacking in a little bit of color, so... Let's see what we've got. See, I'm terrible at keeping to my own commitment to get these done. Finding other little things to fiddle with. Any little pieces of kitchen sponge, which I usually have one of them lingering around here. Check my other drawers on this side. Nope, nothing there. Final drawer up top. Ah! That's where it was. Couldn't hide from me, though it tried. Honestly, it probably won't take that one. Ooh, I've got a rust wash. I forgot when I discovered that. You could throw that on the base. You could throw that on the base. Yeah, because I'm out of copper last time. I remember that now. I was like, dang, I don't have any. Alright, we'll go with the rust wash maybe, and then sponge on, or no, we'll probably have to scrape on some of that. Okay. Hi, Hector. I know, I should have bought more copper paint. I should have. I didn't. Can you see Hector? I don't know. Yeah, he's dead. Oh, buddy. You're so demanding. Oh, my camera didn't freeze up. Looks like it might have. How long has my camera been like that for you guys? No, okay, it's moving. You just can't see anything. I don't have it angled right. I don't know. Can we see a heck? I want to say there's a cat and then not show you the cat. Is a kittens. Okay, cool. Yeah. Here we go. Say hi to all your fans, Hector. Say beep beep. Say beep beep. There you go. Alrighty. Now I'm still working, Heck, so I gotta finish these off. I think I'm gonna throw rust wash on these bases instead of Nuln Oil, cause that'd be cool. Now this rust wash is it's not a proper like wash. It's just paint that's separated, and I could not remix it. So we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get, buddy. Ow! Hector! No! Do not scratch at my back. That's very rude. That's very rude. Probably can't dive too deep in there. Getting some actual copper paint, which is an interesting development. Yeah, you were trying to warn me that this was going to change the base, that it wasn't all going to be wash. I see. I see. That's okay. If this grate is a little bit shiny, that's fine. It's just variety, Hector. You don't have to be worried about it. It does now look like the very gross and disgusting back room of a industrial, like, food-making complex or something. You know? I could believe that. Some of those words that I said made sense. And if I could believe it, other people could certainly believe it. Especially once we splatter some Martian iron crust on things. I think this could work. Now I've got to remember, not this thumb down here is covered in rust wash, so I absolutely cannot touch the models, like the tops of their little heads and stuff, with it, or that's gonna turn out bad. Gotta not do that. It looks interesting though, right? Someone just say yes in the chat so that I can feel validated. 5 clowns invading the warehouse. Your cat Sona bites your ankles when ignored. Oh, okay, have fun reading with your partner. That sounds like a really nice way to spend an evening, to be honest. Okay, yeah, these bases are sick. I like them. I think it's a different enough yellow tone to it as well where I don't have to worry about it being like too yellow. And if I want to dab on some Gauss Blaster Green Verdigris, I can. Maybe that's what I'll sponge on. I know I said I was going to get these done simply so that they would be done, but we all kind of knew that I would find a way to overcomplicate this. The only person I was fooling was myself. Y'all know me. I did not mean to swing that so wildly. Hopefully I did not hit any important models. Oh dear. Don't necessarily want this super caked up in the grates either, but we'll take what we get. We'll just see what happens. I look like I've been eating some sort of weird Cheeto with how orange my fingers are getting. Don't know how long this wash is gonna take to dry either, which is potentially a factor. Wanting to finish this tonight. But I was gonna put a wash on these bases anyway, so regardless of what I had chosen to do, it was gonna have that kind of contingency. Heavily textured stuff just looks better with a wash on it like this. I don't know how heavily textured people would consider this, but you know, I'm gonna call it what I want. Yeah, I will wake up tomorrow confused why my hand is covered in Cheeto dust. The implication that I would go to bed without washing my hands of all the painting gunk, though, is concerning. This is not gonna be something that I just let sit and fester. I will get that off my hands before hitting the hay tonight. I need somewhere else to set these that isn't the desk. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. I know I have another tray under here. I'm holding my paintbrush in my mouth. There we go. Ha! Success. I'm a genius. I love finding little possibilities like these, though. It's very fun to do. Not something I was intending, but maybe something that'll turn out good. Maybe it'll turn out to look horrible. I honestly don't know. It's gonna depend on what it looks like as it dries, I guess. Didn't really consider that it might change a lot as it decides to dry. Trying to get in between that guy's feet. I think I need to just push a little bit of paint in there. There we go. Sorry to hush up a second there. I had my paintbrush held in my mouth, which isn't always the best way to do things, but sometimes when you just need a place to put something, your chompers there are just the most efficient way to go. It is interesting. Like, this definitely wouldn't have been what I would have thought to do if I didn't randomly come across this wash. Makes it easy as well for any future guys that I add. I'll just fucking tack this on. Magic salts. It's looking pretty good. I think some of them are a little bit more yellow than I would like. But you can kind of dig deeper and that turns it more towards the copper as opposed to the yellow. So we'll see how those end up drying and what they end up looking like. Tell you, it's an easy effect if you happen to have a fucked up bottle of Fulgurite copper the same way that I do. And if a little bit of rust gets on their feet or their capes, that just seems like natural debris that they would have kicked up wandering through this place. So I'm not too fussed about that. All right, they've all got the wash applied. I've got the wash applied. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I need to wash that off my finger because it's really gross and I don't like how it feels, so I'll be right back. Hang on. Ugh. Alright, I have returned. Thank you for your patience. Not really a whole lot I can do while waiting for these to dry. I don't really think I can start like sponging stuff on until the wash is dry. So I need something to just fiddle around with in the interim. Fortunately, I have a lot of projects just sitting around. I think I want to just give these panel liners a try. So let me grab some terrain that I have sitting around and try it out on that. This is terrain that I have that I need to paint at some point, but I want to see how these panel liners react, so try that out. I think this one might need to be shaken up because that's really, really light. I don't know if you're supposed to shake up panel liner. Caution. May cause plastic to become brittle. Do not apply to parts that that must be pressed in. Be careful when using it, as it may dissolve underlying paint. Store tightly capped and out of direct sunlight. Shake well or stir with paint stirrer before using. Good to know. I'm going to keep shaking this. I hope this doesn't take 24 hours to dry, but if it does, it sadly will mean that I have to finish those tomorrow instead of tonight, which is not ideal for me, so I'm hopeful, but we'll see what we get. This is not good. I don't know if maybe I didn't shake it up enough or what, but this is very weak. Not saturated like a lot of the other. Maybe it's just a lighter color. But this is a very light tint. Okay, there we go. That drop-in was better. Okay. Okay, it's not that bad. I think it's just, it's lighter than I'm used to for a panel liner, so it might not be perfect for every project, but it might be good for somewhere I want really subtle shading. And it does kind of look like hot chocolate, so that's cool. See, this is the darker brown. I think this one needs to be shook up a little bit more, too. Hopefully it doesn't cause blindness. That would be a big problem. I don't want that. For what proposes to be dark brown, it seems to have a lot of gray in it. Get a couple good daubs of it. I think, unfortunately, my ideal color for wanting to line stuff with is somewhere in between this kind of espresso dark, because like this is reading too gray to my eye. I don't know about you. That hardly looks brown at all to me. That's looking very, very gray. And now we'll see what happens if I combine the two of them. Put some up there. You can mix washes, right? I can get like a bottle. I can just pour half and half, one into the other. Yeah, I think mixed together these would be more ideal for my purposes, so we'll see. Definitely both of them are lighter than the black wash, which is kind of what I was hoping for. Because I find that for my candy schemes is just too dark. But I think that with the brown one at least, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, neither of these are bad. They're both totally usable. And I'm starting to get to a part of my painting where I prefer, for serious projects, I prefer panel liners to all over washes. So that's an interesting preference to be aware of, and definitely something that I'm gonna take into consideration moving forward with what I decide to paint and what I decide to do. Let's see. Is this one dry enough yet? It's gonna have some shine to it, like, I assume. But you look dry enough that I could sponge just a little bit of verdigris onto you. Let's try it. Let's try it. What's the worst that could happen? I don't like it. That's the worst that could happen. It's honestly the absolute worst that could happen. I do like it though. I think it looks neat. Looks real neat. It adds just a little something extra there. I think I need a smaller piece of sponge to get in where I want it. Yeah. That looks cool. It's neat. Nothing too dramatic, but like, it's just a little something additional. I honestly think that the rust wash is not, it's not working as like a wash so much as it added a rust like color to stuff. I don't know if I can properly call it like a wash, because it didn't really sink into the recesses in the way that I would have wanted it to. Added, of course, this beautiful color, but whether or not I can properly call it a wash is up for debate. However, mixing that in with the verdigris, and by verdigris just a paint that I already owned and uses mint chocolate chip, is actually looks pretty damn cool. I won't lie to you. That's awesome. Though there's a lot that aren't dry enough to have that applied, but there are a few that are, so we're gonna exploit that. Just get them done up with some verdigris. I think this is the first time I've ever tried to paint anything with a verdigris effect. So if it comes out like shit, at least I can say, it's my first time. I don't know what I'm doing. Becoming a pro painter, no shades, just liners. There'll be no brush, only air. Before too long, I won't even need paint. I think I'll probably always need paint. I'm pretty sure that's a staple of the hobby. I don't know that I'll be getting away without using paint anytime soon. Although that's when you'll know that I'm out from underneath the boot of big paint, is I don't need paint at all anymore. It's when we've truly gotten free range hobbying. Escaped the need for paint. I don't even paint the minis anymore. I just sit there and I imagine the color schemes and astral project them onto the plastic, and other people can see them. That doesn't even sound like a oh shit, I got verdigris on the fucking cape. That's not supposed to be there. That can't be there, in fact. Hang on. Crisis. 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 And crisis averted. Look at that. A masterful play by Fives. Yeah, I think all of these are still too wet for me to do anything to, but these I can add the texture paste to and see how that looks. So let me find a crappy old brush. I'm sure I have one. I have several. At least get that finished up. Sorry, your screen's all wonky. I have this big piece of terrain, but that's fine. Martian iron crust is just gonna be a bit of red pigment. Can theoretically just kind of smack down in a couple of places. I can add it to like the capes and these canisters too if I want to, because it could theoretically make its way up onto there. I really like doing that where you just bring a little bit of the dirt onto the clothes. I just feel like it helps tie the model into its environment. And yeah, it's probably about finished. Oh, I need to do the base rim still. That's true. I think it looks real good though. Better than it has any right to be for a bunch of stuff that I just pulled out of my desk. And this texture paste is definitely kind of that, might be a little bit of human, might be a little bit of ground beef. We don't really know what these guys are eating. We don't really know what's up with them. Not as bad as the corpse grinder cult though. That the name is kind of right there as to what they're after. We know what they're grinding, and it's corpses. Kind of want to put a big splodge of it like right on this too. Just see how that, yeah. Kind of dirty that up a little bit. I think that looks good. Looks more theoretically Necromunda. I can't say for sure since I've never actually played Necromunda, but in theory, corpse grinders actually vegans who want to grind as in the dance? It's ground beef. The last gang member who died was named Beef. These look way better than they have any right to. Really pleased with it. You should put verdigris and random rust washes on your bases. That's gonna be an endorsement for me. Because it looks dope as hell. I don't know that these are going to dry. I don't know why they're taking so much longer than the other ones. Probably I slathered them a little too thick. That could have happened. I'm gonna see what happens if I try and mix a little bit of this. So far, every experiment that I've tried on these guys has worked out. But if I just sponge this on while it's still drying, I mean, that looks fine to me. Hell. Maybe it just dried with a slightly different texture. Sorry, this is the fucking jam. I mean, that's still taking the verdigris paint, so maybe I can finish these tonight. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it. Fuck it. My hands are going to get more grossly textured than before, and I don't like it. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I may be bitching about that a little bit, but it's the price we're paying for Necromunda right now, is slightly gross fingers. Oh, God, it's so gummy. I feel like that's not the texture that it should be, but it is. This one had a lot of verdigris on it, that's fine. I guess some will have more, some will have less. This one's real, that's wet. Yep. Because, like, you guys know how metallic paint feels different from regular paint. So, like, when I get it on my fingers, it has that metallic paint feel. And it's very unpleasant. And it is sticky, and it is gummy, and I don't love it. I don't love it at all. It is fortunately looking very cool, though. Ugh. Ugh. It's bad. It's bad. Rust gummy is the slang. No, please don't fall off the table. I don't want to catch you and get rust in the wrong places, sir. That one didn't need much. He just needed a slight touch. Actually, wait. That panel back there could have a little... could stand to have a little bit more. Some of this is really mixing in with the not quite dry wash, and that's making some interesting colors. But that's okay. We're almost there. We're almost done. We almost did it, Fives. Just finish that guy up a little bit better and do the last one, and then you can slap some texture paste on there. Yeah. Ugh. I'm not a fan of gross textures, as you can see. This is why I could never paint a Nurgle model, because instead of touching these and, like, you know, having my fingers be dirty with gross gummy paint, I would then be expected to make a model that gives me the same feeling as having half-dried metallic paint all over my fingers. Why would you do that to me? Why would anyone want to see that? Alright, let's get some of this stuff on the bases. I wanted a more subtle amount than that, but I guess that's going to be a big pile. That's fine. Oh, you can kind of drag it through and make it look like it's been scraped away. It's kind of cool. Someone tried to clean it up. Didn't do a very good job. I want this guy to have just a smidgen of it up here. Don't really know how it would get up there, but I just think that's kind of neat. Got some on his weapon. So he just dropped it in whatever kind of industrial hell waste factory they're walking through. Actually really reminds me of this weird episode of the Magnus Archives where they're hearing about this kind of endless slaughterhouse in the nightmare realm. It's pretty gross. Right, last one to put the corpse goo on, whatever we're gonna call this. Hell yeah. Alright. That's gross. I feel gross. All this texture on my hands is not great. This paintbrush is probably gonna get thrown away after this, but that's okay. It did its job. It did its job. No, finger painting Nurgle models is not a good idea. Whoever's telling you that is not a friend. They are committing war crimes. I think I'm actually gonna go with a classic black for the base rim now that we have so much color going on the bases. I think doing like yellow or red or something like that is actually going to be too distracting, just because these bases ended up having a lot going on. And the names will get added in the future. Like I said, I don't have names for them all yet, so I don't quite want to start adding those. Not until I know what every little guy's name is. now, I'm gonna do classic black base rim. Make a mental note to add baby wipes to my hobby table so that if I do something like this again, I can just get my fingers clean right away. Yeah, that looks sick. That looks so good. I think we really invented something here. I don't know quite what we invented or whether we should be afraid of our creation or not. But, yeah, that looks cool as hell. I'm really satisfied with that. Hopefully I can replicate this on the other figures that will eventually be joining my Necromunda crew. I also hope you guys think this looks cool. I'll try and remember to post some decent photos of this on Instagram so that you can check them out in better detail than my phone camera is picking up right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish them all up here. Then that'll be probably it for the stream, so maybe another 15 minutes. I don't think it's going to take me that long to do the base rims, but we'll see. It is very satisfying to see them complete. I won't lie with you. Even though I was like the whole way through, just gotta get them done. I just want them done tonight. I'm glad we did all of the extra details anyway. It really seemed like they were worth it in the end. Although the feeling of my fingers being super gross, I don't know if that was worth it. That sucks. But now I can rest assured that, for the game of Necromunda that I intend to play at Adepticon, I have a painted set of models. Fully painted, fully based. They will look good on the table. Looks cool. Thanks, Brady. I'm glad that I got to bring kind of one of your... I mean, you had Grimace ones done up. So, not a perfect recreation of your concept for these guys, but... I got to add to your fast food Necromunda world just a little bit. Just fun for me. I'm glad you made that post about it in our server, so that even though I was like, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do Dunkaroo ones, and then the Dunkaroo ones didn't work out. I had a really fun direction to pivot to. If you haven't checked out how cool Brady's Wendy's Escher gang looks, you should. They are very cool. I don't think I can make a basing tutorial for this because it involves having freaking ruined metallics. And I don't think people tend to keep those. I like to keep them, though. I do think they make great weird effects washes. Even if it does mean I then have to go out and buy another bottle of the same wash. Or, excuse me, the same paint, just so I can have all the metallic colors that I need. Trying not to have a favorite model because I know that they can all die out in the game pretty easily, but I do love them very much. And I hope that they stay alive. I will be sad when and if they die. If they get injuries, I'll have to, like, note it, I think, and then probably me being the crazy person that I am, I might return and try to make that reflected on their model somehow. They lose a limb or something like that. Hell yeah. Okay. There we go. They're all done. They need the Mick first aid. Sorry if you ever feel like I'm ignoring you. I don't always have time to respond to everything, Brady, so if you send me something and I don't get back to you, I apologize. I definitely am sorry if you ever felt ignored by me. I do have, you know, a whole life outside of the internet, but I do try and be attentive to the people who comment on stuff and post about stuff and want me to see things, but if I'm making you feel ignored, I'm very sorry about that. Cool. I'm glad we good then. This is where I'm gonna end things for now. I need to let these dry before I can photograph them, really, and I'm done painting them, and my painting desk, as you can see, is quite full. There's not really room for me to do anything else tonight, so that's gonna be it from me. I hope you had a fun time watching these get finished up, and I will see you in the next one.